For this project, I'm using this yarn that I got at Michael's for around $7. I don't know, you can go find this if you want to. And the first thing you're going to do is take one end of the yarn from the ball and leave off around 2 feet. I left off more just in case. Then you're going to take that place and you're going to make a knot. So hold it with with your thumb and pointer finger. You're going to hold it, then twist it to make a loop and pull the yarn through. There you go. So again, hold it with your pointer finger and your thumb, then twist the loop and pull one of the yarns through. Sorry, not two, you just pull one of the yarns through. There you go. So that makes one of the loops. Then you're going to put that on your hand and tighten it. This is going to be kind of hard to explain, but just try to follow along by what I'm doing on the screen. First, you're going to take the yarn that is attached to the ball with your other hand. You're going to put it between your pointer and your middle finger and then hold it down with your pinky and ring finger. So see, I'm just holding it, twisting, and then kind of pinning it down. Now you're going to take the other yarn, the other piece of yarn, that's the leftover one, and you're going to loop it around your thumb. So I'm just holding it with my with my ring finger and my pinky, putting my thumb through the space formed and then just looping it around. Now you're going to take the hand that your original loop was on, so my right hand, put it through the loop formed by your thumb. Now without letting go, you're going to go and put it through the loop formed in the back. And then you're going to tighten it. Seems kind of confusing the way I explain it. I'm trying, but just try to follow what is on the screen because it's a lot easier. I learned it the visual way, so that's what I'm suggesting. Again, I'm going to repeat this. So take the yarn that is attached to the ball, put it between your two fingers, so make a loop around your pointer finger, then make another loop with your thumb, and repeat the steps with your other hand. So first I'm going to put it through the loop formed by my thumb. It's not really a loop, but it's just like that little place right there, the little space. And without letting go, just put it back into the loop formed by my pointer and pull through. Then tighten and keep doing this. Depending on what type of scarf you want, I wanted mine to go around my neck twice and be kind of loose. So I made 7 loops on my hand. I have another scarf that only goes around once, but it's really thick. And with that one, I made around 12 loops on one hand. And then I have one that goes around twice, and that one was kind of really tight, and that one I made 9 loops. So now we're going to start transporting the loops to our other hand. You're going to hold the yarn attached to the ball. This is very important, the one attached to the ball with your right hand, or the one that your loops are on. You're going to pull the loop off, and that forms a new loop, right? So you put this loop on the other hand, the opposite hand. And then that's your new loop. A lot of loops. And you just tighten it by pulling at the yarn. So this is the actual knitting. This is what you're going to be doing for the rest of the scarf. It will look messy and it will look loose and you will think that you're doing something wrong. Believe me, that's what I thought I was doing the first time. But the more you do it, the more patterns you will see and the easier it will get. Again, I'm going back, holding the yarn attached to the ball with my hand, then pulling one of the loops off, and that makes a new loop, which I put on my opposite hand and then pull it tighter. Alright, so one more time. Take the yarn attached to the loop with your right hand, or the one that your original loops are on. If you're right-handed, that should be your right hand. Okay, the one attached to the ball, this is very important. Hold it with your hand so that the end faces out, just like I am holding it right here. Then while holding it, I'm pulling off the loop with my other hand, and this forms a new loop. So now I put that on my other hand and tighten. There you go. Now keep doing this until all of your loops on the other hand. This is what the whole thing looks like after you put all of the loops on the opposite hand once. So basically the whole row of loops is now on the opposite hand, and it should look like this or something like that, depending on how tight you were making the loops. Remember, you can make them tighter based on how tight you make it around your arm. So now you're going to do the same exact thing to get all the loops on your other hand. And see the little yarn of the other end? That's the little yarn that you will not touch for the rest of the scarf making, because that little yarn is the little tip we left off in the very beginning. The 2 feet, yeah, that's the thing that you can't see, but it's coming off the screen. So now you're transporting all of the loops back to your original hand by doing the same thing. Just hold the yarn with your left hand, the yarn attached to the ball, pulling off your loops, which again makes new loops, and then putting it on the other hand. There you go. And you keep doing this many times until you get the length of your scarf that you desire. Once you're done, or you think your scarf is long enough, you're going to secure it. Basically make the finishing row. So start off the same as always, just putting the loops back on. But once you get 2 loops across, see I have exactly 2 loops back on my hand, you're going to take the one before and you're going to pull it over the other loop formed. And then you're just going to pull out the yarn. Just don't mind the loops, whatever I'm doing there, just pull it. Which makes a little knot type thing. So now you have 1 loop left over again. Take another loop from your left hand, put it onto your right hand, and pull off the loop in the back over the new loop formed, and then just pull at the yarn to tighten it. So just keep doing this until all of your loops are tightened in a knot. Once you're left with 1 loop only, you're going to take that loop off of your hand, but don't let it go, like don't lose it, right? So you have that loop, and you can see that it's adjustable by your yarn. So you're going to take that loop, you're going to take the yarn, pull it through the loop, and then, yeah, just pull it through the loop. And this makes a knot, and you are done. Now you connect the 2 ends of your scarf, because you have a long scarf, but we're making an infinity scarf. So you put them 2 together and have the strings face out the same way to make sure your scarf isn't like twisted. Now you're going to knot them together. Then you're going to take the next little hole or loop. There's so many loops. The next hole you see in the scarf, pull the yarn through. Do this on both sides, just as I am doing. And you are going to knot them again. you knot them, you make a little knot, and now you do the same thing again. Take each yarn and pull it through another little space left on that scarf. See how many spaces there are? So just take the next one available, pull your yarn through on both sides, and tie them. Keep doing this until the very end, where you can just cut the little two pieces off in your final knot. Just make sure it's secure and tight. So here's the final scarf. This is if it's twice around my neck, and this is if it is 3 times around my neck.